This is ESPN ESPORTS. I'm Arda Ocal. Happy to be joined by P1noy, who just played for G2 this past weekend. The team went 1-1 this past weekend. Let's just talk about your experience, P1noy, joining the main LEC team here. What was the experience like for you this weekend?
It was a really great experience to be able to play with so talented players. It's been a while since I played in the high leagues, of course, so it was definitely like just a really great experience, and my expectations were also very high. And maybe I was doubting myself too much before we played the scrims, but it worked out fine, and like we smashed a lot of our scrims. Just still a bit disappointed with the 1-on-1, but yeah, it is what it is.
How did you work through that doubt? How did you get over that?
I mean, it's basically just I got into the house there Tuesday noon, and then we played some scrims. I think the first scrim we actually played, I went 11-0, so and then I was like, okay, this is reasonable. We can work with this, and then yeah, I basically just worked from there, and then I felt more and more comfortable playing with the guys. So yeah.
So let's break through or let's break down the matches this weekend. So impressive showing against Misfits on Friday. You played Israel, one of your more played champions. Just take me through that game, and in particular the comp. Did you know going into it that you were going to play a champion that you were, or at least the hope was that you would play a champion that you were comfortable with?
Yeah, I think in most scenarios, I would also always have a champion that I would feel comfortable with. Yeah, first pick Israel is just like it's my most champion played over the course of the last 3 years. So I'm kind of surprised they didn't try to put me out of comfort with that one, and we just drafted a really good comp around it where Perkz was the main carry, and we had Mickey roam a lot mid to like cover him, and I was just farming 1v2 kind of. So yeah, that's why maybe I didn't have to put any carry shoes. I was just there to like provide some cues for my team, try to snipe some people, predicting some flashes, and yeah, I mean that game was just really clean, and Perkz kind of carried it.
So you had some momentum and some motivation going into Saturday. Just take us through the matchup here that just ended against Excel. What happened in your opinion?
I mean, I felt like our draft was fine. I think one of the bad part was that I was kind of the support, right? So I had to like roam with Yankas, set up vision for Caps, and that's not a role that I'm really ideal in, even though I know how to play the champion center. But it's like more these kind of setups. So I think that kind of hindered the team a bit. So maybe that's like my fault, but also in a way that we just had our roles, right? So maybe it would have been better to put me on like a more carry champ, or like force Mickey to be the one that roams around because they know each other so well. So yeah, even though the game was in our hand, we just got caught, and then the game kind of just got out of control. And then Aphelios is Aphelios, even though I think the champion is a bit overhyped, it just carried the game because we tried to play it wrong, I would say. But yeah, it is what it is.
You playing Senna, now correct me if I'm wrong, I'm looking at your statistics. You haven't played Senna very much in your career, is that correct?
I've never played it in competitive because the champion was
Right.
kind of. Oh, I played it like 2 games in competitive maybe, but that was when you were farming center, right? So you had a normal support, but this time around you're like the fasting center, so you need to ward and roam, and it's not the ideal role for me, and we haven't practiced it that much, so we can kind of say it was like a team issue that we went this kind of direction in the draft.
What happens for you moving forward now? Do you know whether you will be playing at all next week? Will Perkz return? Well, what have you been told?
I'm pretty sure Perkz will return. That's what I've heard, and I'm also fine with that, right? I think for me personally, I normally watch their scrims from time to time. I think I will be actively more watching their scrims and see if I can also give some feedback and give some more input to the team, because after this week, I feel like more part of the family, right? Before I was just like the sub. I come in, I'm sometimes there, but now I feel like I'm more part, and I've made a better relationship with all of the players and the staff. So I feel like I'll be more part of it now, and maybe eventually, if I'm lucky or there's other uh, problems occurring, then maybe I get to play again. But I'm also happy where I am being a sub. It's the life being a sub for the best team in Europe.
This is my last question to you. You got an outpouring of support, in particular from Carlos, who tweeted, we're very happy with your performance. Let's lift the trophy together, brother. I just want to know, like, what were some of the comments that you heard from the team, from the coaches, from the other players? Like, how are you leaving this weekend as a member of G2 and your placement and your role in G2?
I think everyone is kind of surprised. I did as well as I did, especially in scrims. I didn't showcase as much on stage with like today's performance as well. But I think I'm very happy with all the support I got. Also, like just the brand I can build from here again, because like when I started playing like professionally, I got hyped super fast, and maybe too fast, and starting up too high with like Gambit, and then I was kind of just stuck down in the lower ERLs. Now I've gotten the opportunity again to play in the LEC, just even though it's for a week, but I can take it from here and try to put my brand up higher, and then eventually return if that's the case. If not the case, then I'll see what other options are there for me. But it's just amazing the support, even from college. He's like, "Oh, do we get a Filipino shirt and stuff like that?" And that guy is just amazing. Even though he lied on Twitter about saying that we lost all our games, it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, the whole G2 family is just super nice, and I'm like friends with a lot of them before even they were part of G2. So yeah, that's nice.
P1noy, thank you very much for joining us here on ESPN Esports.
Thank you for the interview.